I'll call this meeting back to order for our June the 10th, 2025 budget work session. So welcome everybody here today, everybody that's online also. And I will turn it over to Mr. Tadlock.
All right, the purpose of today's meeting is to discuss the fiscal year 26 county and school budget. We have prepared for the board potential reductions and additions for the board's review. If you have any questions related to those, we can try to answer those for you. Also online is Dr. Leslie. I'm not sure that she's going to be able to stay online the whole time. So if you have any specific questions related to the school board budget, if you have those ahead of time, we can go ahead and maybe get those answered so she has opportunity to jump off when she needs to. Just overall, with these potential reductions, additions, we are looking at being on the positive side, 203,357. Board did indicate or asked to look at a 1.25% increase, and looking at the 1.25% salary increase for both school and county staff, that put us dipping back into the undesignated fund balance about $399,761. So we ran that scenario. If there are other scenarios that the board would like us to run, we can also do that as we go through this. As if you have any additional questions on certain sections, just let us know. Any questions for the school side of things first, I guess?
Yeah, y'all got any questions for Dr. Leslie while she's on the phone?
Which version of school's budget did you include in what you gave us?
So what I provided to the board has the 0% salary increase with the potential cuts that they are requesting or have presented, I guess.
With a 1.25% raise, where would that put us on a tax increase?
All of this is still assuming an 8-cent real estate tax increase. We did not deviate from the 8 cent.
8 cent, okay.
And actually, if you dropped it 1 penny to 7 cent, it would drop you back into dipping into the undesignated fund balance.
Without causing you a whole lot of figuring, a 3% increase in salary would put us where on the tax increase?
You would still be at 8 cent.
Would you need more?
Or you would need more.
That's what I'm
Yes, sir. But we could figure that out. Because I would need to factor in the school division side as well as the county side to do that. Now, as far as tax rate goes, we advertise the 8 cent tax rate, so we would not be able to go above the 8 cent.
I thought we advertised 12.
We did 8 cent.
That was 8 cent. You can't go above it. You can always go below it.
I thought we advertised 12. I beg your pardon.
So we advertise 8 cent. What was last year's school budget?
The total or counting?
Total budget plus the county side.
Total budget was 21,529,064. And the county side was 14,855,244.
Repeat that again, Count.
County side was $14,855,244.
So now we'll get you thinking. What was it, 2019 pre-COVID, or just the county side?
I would have to go back and, I can get it for you. I just have to go back and research it.
What's your thought process in asking that?
I wanna see, we'll try to get an idea how much extra COVID actually cost. County. May not be right on it. But one of the issues that we had and what was stated when these funds come out, when they've done the COVID funds, ASSA fund, whatever other funds they put out there, is to not create continuous expenditures. It was to get through COVID. And every school system done the complete opposite of that. You watching the city of Richmond, it's got issues now. So it's not just the school system that's got problems coming out of this. And we'll also give you some ideas of what was implemented during that time that may not be needed now. I don't know if that'd be helpful or not, but that's just my thought process.
It's not gonna hurt to know that,
Well,
because the budget has gone up a lot since then. Always been $1 million increase every year or more.
On the school side, school population is down, correct, from last year? That's the understanding I have.
I think they based it on what, 1,200?
Yeah, Dr. Leslie's online if,
Dr. Leslie?
Yes, sir. So we based the budget this year on the most recent counts that we had available. However, in general, yes, we are experiencing a decline over the years. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I wanted to add one other thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. So I do want to clarify that last year's total budget was actually $22,745,907. That is that same error that we saw earlier. What was presented to you all, $21,529,064, is the Fund 1 balance and does not include their federal. So their budget was actually quite a bit higher for operating 24-25. But needless to say, we do have it down quite a bit from there. But I did just want to clarify that point. It doesn't necessarily, it doesn't impact what we're going to be asking for. I just wanted to make sure that I cleared that up. So I don't have the 2019 numbers in front of me, but I can tell you we had a dip trend where the budget went down. And I think it's because they didn't include that federal. And then when we put it back in, it looks like it comes back up, but we can get that data.
Dr. Leslie, can you hear me?
Speak in the microphone. She
Yes,
can't
sir,
hear.
I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. Look, the decline, I know we have quite a few people moving into the county. We're the second as far as population, right behind, Westmoreland. Well, do you have more homeschool or you don't know?
I don't have that data in front of me, sir, to be clear. And please do keep in mind when we start to talk about enrollment, our enrollment will go up over the summer. That is a trend we see in all school divisions. We always see a spike in our enrollment over the summer as we see our preschoolers come in and students moving into the area. So just because someone just moved into the area, they may not have had enrolled their child yet in Northumberland. So we will see those numbers come up some. I don't think it's going to be an astronomical amount. That would be a big concern, however.
Thank you.
Dr. Leslie, do you have any idea how much money has been overspent on the budget this year?
So I hope to have that information for you on Thursday. I have my current projections. However, as you all know, we had UHY come in to assist us. So what I did were average mean projections for 2 years of spending. However, UHY has a far better focus on those things than me. So we will be sitting down this week, either later today or tomorrow with UHY. We have also managed to get substantially more reimbursements out in the last few weeks. And so hopefully that reimbursement money will also be coming back. So hopefully the picture will be less bleak, but I do not have a number right now to give to you, but I'm confident that UHY's number will have much better resolution.
All right, but reimbursement money, you probably won't see that, what, for 60 days?
Yes,
Or
sir.
more?
My understanding is it's and thank you. I did look that up. My understanding is it is about 60 days. So I know that personally I have run some through over the last couple of weeks. So we will be looking at a time. There will be a lapse before those reimbursements probably come in.
Any other board members got any questions?
One item on here that we talked about earlier was the well. And I see that's on here at 390,000. That was cut down substantially at our last meeting, I thought. About a third of that, if I'm not mistaken.
There were various numbers that were put out there for the cost of the well. Because we do not have a definite figure on the well, that was the reason that we were backing that out. And then we would need to determine some sort of financing for that well going forward.
But we did discuss lower figures.
We
And they were
need
gonna
to
get-
discuss whether or not we need to replace a well or not. DEQ is not mandating that we replace a well at this moment.
Condemn, right? That's the-
Condemn one of the two wells is all they're saying we need to do right now. Not saying kicking the can down the road to, have that weigh on us at a later date is the right move, but it could be.
$100,000 against 390 is quite a different figure.
I don't even think we have a figure for what abandoning a well would cost.
Plus transferring, we've never been able to determine if the two wells are connected. I don't think they are. They
It's
may
mine.
be, but I don't think they are.
According to Mr. Brand, they are connected. He has actually moved water from one school to the other.
They have to be connected to do that.
Yeah.
Good. When we first started discussing it, they were not connected.
Yeah, they are.
And he gave me all kinds of figures about what each well system is capable of. His recommendation, if we were only going to condemn one well, would be to condemn the elementary school well because its pumps are not as strong, its holding capacity, and the tanks on the elementary school are not as great.
And it's the oldest.
and it's the oldest. We're using about right at half of what DEQ allows the school to use annually by volume.
Okay. Let's move on.
All right, what else, gentlemen?
Dr. Leslie,
Yes, sir.
the reimbursements that UHY is coming up with or tending to, should those things have already been done or?
So I want to clarify, UHY did not submit the reimbursements. The reimbursements were submitted from our office, from the correct personnel. Yes, they should have been submitted more efficiently. And the plan going forward is to have them submitted on a monthly basis so that they are constantly rolling. As money goes out, we should be rolling in reimbursements back in. So that's the answer to that question. But what UHY is doing is they are getting together with us and getting a good alignment of the reimbursements that have come in and doing a second backup to see if we have anything out. They are currently working on that as well.
Thank you.
No got anything else? I think once we find out the 2019 budget, that'll be, give us some comparison here. We just need to see. And Dr. Leslie, is it any chance us getting a charter of accounts?
Surely. So you should have a chart of accounts from the original budget proposal. Are you searching for a chart of accounts with the proposed cuts?
I can look back, see if I do have it.
Okay, so we did submit, we actually transcribe our information into a chart of accounts that is a template sent to us by you, so we do have both handy. At this point, those would both be current for the projection, for the original proposed budget. I do have them for the other, but I do, as I stated, I did make multiple versions to try to look at the impacts for our budget for different cuts that we were making. But just let me know.
All right, okay, certainly will. See if I can find it back here.
So the final budget 2019. It's 18,568,149. That's everything.
What was that again, Mr. Brown?
18,568,149. I would like to know when you can find it, Luttrell, what the county portion of that was.
Yeah, we'll go back and pull that information. For reference, that information was emailed on May 20th on the school information.
All right. All right, I'll go back and look.
Right. And as I stated, if you're looking for anything updated, just let us know and we can get that over.
All right, gentlemen, we have any other questions for Dr. Leslie?
I also will have my phone, so, and Mr. Tadlock can contact me if you have anything that comes up.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Tadlock. I see you made right many cuts on the county side.
What we can do is go by each category, and if, as we go through those, if you have specific questions, it may not go line by line, but unless you all have a specific question about one.
All right, let's do that then.
So under the Board of Supervisors, we had quite a few items that we identified. Total savings there was $67,931 with those items.
57 what now?
$67,931. Under county admin, total reduction was $5,500. The audit for the circuit court was $1,461. Commissioner of Revenue, reduction of $6,200. For the treasurer, is 2,500. On the electoral board, we were looking at 1,800. The registrar was a reduction of 500. And for IT, it was a reduction of 76,614.
What were the big cuts there in IT maintenance service software? What,
So there were some maintenance software items that we sat down with the IT director and identified that one, we could either wait on or not include for the time being. We had originally reduced that by more, but there were a couple software packages that we do have to implement. One being the sheriff's office security that has been added back in, and then the Board of Supervisors board docs system is being converted over to Diligent, and there's some changes that we're not able to stay on board docs, so we've added that cost back in. That was for the general administration. I don't know if you have any specific questions under any of those categories. I can try to answer.
Any questions, gentlemen?
Well, I'll keep on going. If you do have a question later on, just let me know. Under judicial administration, under the circuit court judge, we were looking at a reduction of $3,022. General district court, $700. Juvenile court, $5,500. And circuit court, $7,300. No questions there. On to public safety, for the sheriff's office. Reduction of 113,000. We also looked at the volunteer fire and volunteer rescue. Each year we provide a 5% increase to those contributions. This year we looked at level funding those items. So for the volunteer fire department contribution and the equipment, it would be a reduction of 34,151. For emergency services, a reduction of 26,600. Volunteer squad contribution reduction of 11,491. Building and zoning reduction of $1,000. And for the animal shelter, a reduction of 15,500. Under public works, electrical streetlights, we had a reduction of 2,000. Under health and welfare, the health department, we were looking at a reduction of $12,199. Also under health and welfare, there was a total reduction of $146,067. And that includes things like Boys and Girls Club, Red Cross, Bay Aging, Food Bank, Haven, Free Health Clinic, Bay Transit, and Social Services.
So those numbers eliminated any contribution to those departments or associations?
It either eliminated any type of contribution or it level funded the contribution.
Well, I hope it's level funded.
Luttrell, just out of curiosity, I'm gonna ask you more later, but for instance, things like street lights, how do you cut that? You just turn the lights off? Is that what you're planning on doing?
No, what we've done is we've looked at historical payments, how much has come out of that specific line item. And based on that historical information, we feel like we can reduce that line item a little bit.
How about social service? What'd you say you cut out on that? Health department?
Yes, sir. So the health department was asking for an increase of 12,199. So that's level funding the health department.
Will that won't eliminate the money, it's coming from the state, with State Department, state, where they had, in order to receive that money, they had to, they kind of had to give $1,000. In order for them to receive the raises.
So I did reach out to Brendan Riverbank with the health department, and I had forwarded this to the board. They said that the district would not I asked him about the level funding of that specific budget. And he did say that the district would not be able to absorb the state mandated required pay increases that we need to provide to our full-time staff that provide public health services to the residents of Northumberland County. Should the requested increases across all 10 counties not be satisfied, we will have to explore staffing cuts. For education, reduction on the school division side, $635,985. The RCC contribution, reduction of $287. The, under Parks and Recreation, YMCA, a reduction of $5,000. And then under capital vehicles, under the CIP, just received additional information related to the capital vehicles, reducing that by $5,507. And then, of course, the school CIP for the well was a reduction of 390,000, excuse me. And then the additions are related to state funding, grant funding. Under the registrar was an increase of 3178. We looked at increasing the disaster response line item under public safety by 2,500. And then under victim witness grant for $15,227.
Ready for some questions? This one, I'll give you all the amounts for the 2019 budget, 18.5, 18 million point five. County part was 11,570,807. 11,570,807 was the county part of the budget in 2019. Between 2019 and now, it's like a $3.2 million increase. We had these questions come before us before. How much is Northumberland County paying per child compared to the other schools? And I know at one time $5,000 more. And it never was really explained to us what were we getting for that $5,000 extra. And, you know, I have a hard time sitting up here looking at this, having to make a decision, taking things from other people out of this budget because of mistakes that other people have made that's crippled this county. We shouldn't be sitting here making these decisions. But we're gonna have to make some. I made the comment that we need at least $1 million from the school system. Mr. Haney, you made a comment, 1.5, 1.9.
And you could use more than that, much more than that budget. Yep. There's still a lot of fluff in that budget.
I think it's gonna come down to. The board's just gonna have to make a decision on what they're gonna get for that budget. They're just gonna deliver it. Everybody else.
Everybody else is exactly right.
They don't have a choice in what they're getting.
Well, maybe they'll learn to spend more wisely.
Anyway,
I think, brother superintendent doing a good job. And, we gotta make sure that we do take care of our kids. We have we're just sucking behind Westmoreland as far as, the population and everything. So, very important that we give them what they need. I think she's doing a great job getting things in order.
he is doing a good job.
Right.
Well, when you looked at it, that surrounding counties were 14 to 15,000 per child. Here we are right at 20,000 a child. And they never have justified the difference. How that additional money is helping the children. Never made any attempt to do it.
Well, that's the reason I said she's getting it in line. I think we're gonna come out in good shape.
Oh, yeah, I think we got a very good superintendent there now that's gonna work to try to solve these problems. But the problems are already in the budget and they have to be corrected before another budget. We just cannot overspend in that budget and allow them to waste taxpayers' dollars again.
But the key to this thing is too, we gotta have somebody in a management position to
Right.
manage the finances.
What we
That's true.
call waste, they call essential. It has to be somebody to step in to distinguish the two.
Yeah, so that's even more important when we need to speed up this process of getting someone in here to get these finances right. It can't, we can't keep going the way we're going. We got to have someone here to take care of these finances.
Well, a MOU has been sent to the school system and to their attorney for review. So ball's in their court right now.
Didn't we prescribe a date? That'd be back to us by the next meeting?
We set a date for the 17th of June at, was it 1 PM? I forget exactly what time it was,
1 PM.
for a joint meeting. Now, whether that's gonna happen or not, I do not know. Yeah, it was 1 PM, joint school board meeting. And that was to discuss the MOU. We need to decide on that, whether both sides can agree to it. And it's in the best interest of both sides to agree to it, and let's get this ball moving. So I do not know what's gonna happen on that yet,
Why aren't you sure whether or not that meeting will happen?
sir,
I say, why aren't you sure whether or not that meeting will happen?
because the school attorney is not gonna be back to the 12th. They have to review it, gotta send it to the school board for review. Doesn't leave many days in there.
5 days, so should.
Well, in 5 days, you count weekends, but I don't want to hear it at the day before the meeting that they haven't had time to review it.
And they're probably gonna have some objections to different things, add-ins. That's pretty much a guarantee.
Well, we need,
That's part of what the meeting's for, is to go over those objectives.
that's what the meeting's for. You're right, Chip.
Right.
I just don't want to see this thing drag on and on and on, because the end of the month is coming up very quickly. And we still have to advertise for someone yet. You're not gonna find someone by the end of the month. She'll can't pull a rabbit out of my hat that quick.
Was the school's attorney going to review the MOU before it was sent to the school board? Or was it sent to everyone?
To my knowledge, it was just sent to the attorney.
So we couldn't meet to discuss it with the school board members, whether or not the school boards had consultation with the attorney or not. We could still discuss the particulars and then go back to the attorney. There's no reason why we couldn't meet with them on that date at that time.
I agree with you.
Right, I
So,
agree, and I think it will happen. I think.
because I'm gonna tell you right now, an attorney, they're not gonna move so fast. A lot we can do while they can look at it. We can have a lot of discussion.
Ted, like you sent that notice out to the school system? Or were you waiting to hear from the attorney?
I was waiting to hear from the attorney first. I did talk to Dr. Leslie earlier today, and they do have a second attorney. And she provided me that name, contact information, so I forwarded that on to the county attorney to get that moving. But I certainly can send that notice to Dr. Leslie for the school board.
Is that what the board wants to do?
Yes.
All right, send a notice, please.
All right.
And also, while you had it, would you resend that 520 email to Dr. Leslie?
Mhm.
I can't find it in any of the 520 emails. If you don't mind, resend it.
Sure, I'll resend it.
Resend it to everybody too, if you don't mind.
This is a little off topic, I guess, but have you had a chance to either reach out to UHY again, or have you heard from them again as to them continuing on when there's, not if, but when there is a lapse between when we find this person to the state of finances?
They had indicated that they would provide some additional information this past Friday. I had not heard anything between Friday and yesterday, so I sent a reply back to Mr. Reagan today, this morning.
Good.
Well, it would definitely be nice if they can carry on with it. Instead of have to try to find someone else to come in, step in and into it.
And that's June 17th at 1 PM.
1 PM. And whoever can make it come, as long as we have a quorum. That's all that's needed. Some members cannot make it. That same thing goes for us. If one of us can't make it, we're gonna have the meeting anyhow. If I can't make it, y'all have the meeting.
Well, it shouldn't be that big an issue because most of the legal aspects of it is on you clear.
That's right.
So it's not a whole lot for the attorneys to do. And basically, they may not need to do anything.
Hopefully, that'd be nice.
Wishful thinking.
But, it's not their job to hold us up either.
But Mr. Long,
It's not their job to hold us up. They gotta move. And this is important for the county and the kids and everybody else. Mr. Taylor, have you, have the various agencies received their estimated cuts?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we either emailed them or we sat down with them to discuss it.
Well, I appreciate all the other agencies sitting down and, going over their budget, making cuts in there to help out. All right, gentlemen, what else, gentlemen?
all right, let's go back to the discussion. So we're gonna go on to meet, have a joint meeting with the school boards. The attorneys has got the information, and you're waiting on UHY with an answer in regards to whether they could stay on or not to provide services. And this, they're gonna provide services under the direction of the county. You did ask that, right?
So my question to UHY was what has been performed so far? And then how can they assist the county going forward in the transition of migrating the finance from the school division to the county? And I can follow up on that with any specific items the board wishes.
All right, any update on how much they have accomplished over there?
I don't have a specific update, no, sir.
I know they've had, well, they've had it across everything, including all the IRS accounts, liens and levies against them. So all that needs to be taken care of.
And I know they've been busy and just talking with Dr. Leslie, they've been active in getting accounts straightened and various things.
Need to have a discussion too. If UHY stays on, how they gonna be paid for?
Yep, that's one thing we can decide right now. Or is the county gonna pay for it, or are we expecting the school side to pay for it?
Well, we're gonna pay for it either way. It's just a
Yeah.
case of
Yeah,
what
that's
pocket
right, we
coming out.
pay for it anyhow.
Yeah, you're right.
I guess in one way, you might as well pay for it and have it done.
Right.
Well,
If the school pays for it, they're gonna come back later and want money to reimburse for it, so.
Right, so I think we should pay.
Can't be any
Keep in
more
mind,
reimbursements like they've been asking.
yeah, but keep in mind, they got the money in there for a salary for a finance director.
Well, that's gonna have to come out.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that's the money that we need to use
Yep. That, yeah.
to keep on with UHY till someone is hired.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could take that out and the county could just take care of paying them and it's all taken care of then. And any leftover money stays in the county's pocket.
So my question would be, do we have the authority to do that? Or does the school board have to do that?
Guess it would have to be agreed between the two boards.
Right. That's what,
That right, Mr. Tadlock?
Something else that needs to go on the agenda for 17.
Well, they got money in their budget, that says They had to advertise when they did,
in the advertised budget.
so.
How are they getting paid right now as we speak?
Out of that budget, from what I understand.
From what you understand?
From what I understand, it comes directly out of the school
Well,
budget.
we put the $40,000 in their budget to pay them.
Is that correct, Ed?
That's correct. The board did a supplemental appropriation of $40,000 to the school division to offset that cost for UHY.
As I said, we pay for it one way or another.
But what I don't want to happen is whatever the salary of that finance director is, stays in that budget, and we have to come up with another chunk of money to put in there to pay him.
I just don't think that'll happen. You know, the lady's doing a good job. I don't think she's letting that out. Been honest with us so far.
Well.
The key date is on the 17th, right?
The question list is getting longer and longer. For the 17th.
Yep.
So last year's school budget was not 21, but 22,000.
Million. 22.7 million.
In 2019 was how much money, Jimmy? 18, what
5.
was that, 18.5?
0.5, yeah. And 11.5, but that was the county funding.
Well, that's right at 4 million, it's gone up very close to 4 million. It's when you look at the budget each year, it's always increased $1 million, over $1 million. Usually way over $1 million, and you cut it back, you're still getting $1 million there every year. Just where has that money gone?
So again, the difference from what the board approved for the current fiscal year and what Dr. Leslie had was regarding those Fund 3 numbers.
What was it?
So I had provided one set of information of what the board
Yeah.
had approved. And then Dr. Leslie had noted that there was a difference. Again, that's that Fund 3 that she was speaking about. The same matter that was of concern with the advertising of this year's budget.
That wasn't off by too much money, was it?
I didn't catch what her figure was. It was 22 million.
Figure was 22,749.
$22.
22,749.
What impact of salaries did her numbers reflect that into? What raise did she give their people, talking about giving their people with those numbers?
That was 2019's numbers.
That was 2019.
Yeah.
Was 22,749.
Yeah.
With this year's, let me rephrase that, with this year's budget numbers from her.
No, I'm sorry, 22,749.
That's what I had down for this
Yeah,
year.
that was this year's.
That's what I had down for this year. Yes. Okay. So again, I ask, with what increase in salary did that include?
I don't know.
Last year they got a 3%.
3%. Yeah, it would have been a
They got a
3%.
3%.
How could we find that out?
That's what they got last year.
Okay,
That's
but
what
they were
everybody
asking
got.
for 6 this year. So what did they what was actually in these numbers?
Well, the numbers that Luttrell used had no salary increase
No,
in
but
it at all
the
for
number
this year.
she used did have.
That was last year's. That 22.
I think the original budget she presented us asked for a 5% raise.
Was 5%.
Mhm. So is, okay. This year's budget is what, according to her?
In the original budget,
Yeah.
guess I'm looking at the right number, it would be 22,655,991.
22,700,000. Anyway,
$991.
okay. And those numbers, what increase is in there?
That is with a 5% salary increase.
5%.
Yeah.
I just wanted that to be brought out in the open.
What else we got on this?
I got one more question. So back to the financial director's position at the school. What is our feeling about whether or not that should be included in the 25-26 budget? And the two staff positions? The MOU is going to take that away, right? Where the new position is going to have the two staff positions under it. And at that point, they would fall on the county side, right? So my question is, if that's the case, should they be budgeted for in the 25-26 budget?
It should
So
not
if
be
I'm-
in there, but
But
It
they're-
is.
aren't they
Currently it
working,
is.
aren't they working specifically for school process and not the county? The two extras?
So it's my understanding that the MOU does include or calls for the school division to include that, those salaries in their budget. And then transfer those payments to the locality.
The new positions would remain in the school's budget.
Correct. So as this current budget stands right now, on the county side, we have not budgeted for it. So we will need to do a supplemental appropriation going forward. But those funds should be coming from the school division.
All right, since those funds are included in the school budget, that proposed budget, why do we have to do a supplemental appropriation for it?
Because the expense would be seen on our side for payroll
Asset, all right.
on the county side, excuse me.
Now, you lost me now for a second. I thought you were still on school budget that way.
No.
I don't know.
Well, I would certainly hope that when it comes to raises, we treat everybody equal.
Yeah. That's right. They have
I
to.
love our school teachers. They're wonderful. We can't live without them. But I also love our sheriff's department, our fire and rescue,
Yeah.
and all the county employees that work here every day in, day out. What's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Does treating them equal include whether or not some employees at the school, i.e. teachers, would or would not receive the SOQ bonus that the governor has handed down?
That's different. That's just like other agencies in the county who have people that come ahead and strive and move forward and excel themselves and do extra work.
I agree.
We've always, and I hope we always will, maintain their ability to do that and give them an incentive to do it.
I agree.
They say your workplace is only as good as your people. We've got good people. We just need to take care of them.
Well, I think if you look back, when we've done a budget and we've given a raise, always tried to make sure that it was the same county employees and school employees.
With the exception,
Right, but I just wanted to know if you were
A
different.
bonus is different than a raise. But our raises we've always wanted to make sure that we gave 2%, it was 2% across the board. It wasn't gonna be one given 3 and one given 2. No, we're not gonna do that. So. That's all we can do is just be fair. But we have a lot of things we need to get done. Time is short, very short. We have what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks left in this month to have a county budget and a school budget. And we need to get an MOU taken care of. So we need to keep moving.
most likely, if there's any holdup in the MOU, it's not gonna be us.
Well, there's really nothing now to really go through. You can read through it and agree right to it. It's just nothing there. It's not a whole lot of legal stuff into it. It's a very little bit of that. That's almost nothing. Just a matter of the two boards to agree.
We really need to know the bottom number, how much the school has overspent this year. So we know
We must know that. You're right, Mr. Ryan. They
what
overspent,
direction they're going.
they overspent by 1.1 million last year, and you can certainly expect that again this year. That's the way I'm looking at it. Plus, they started out with 800,000 in the red. We still got that to pay for. And didn't they also lose some funding? Wasn't that 270,000 they lost? That they had to pay back?
You're
was
talking
it.
about the MOE.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all that adds up. Now you got all these additional IRS fees and state fees that they having to pay. No sense in the taxpayer having to pay all that. That's not right. It's not their fault. It's the fault of their accounting department.
Don't forget the groups that we have hired or will hire in the future because of these problems. You can add that on to that tally also.
Mr. Williams, you're certainly right. You need to add all of that onto it also.
The cost of these forensic audits, it's all part of it.
Yep. So, we've incurred cost of way over $1 million.
Well, Mr. Long said it earlier, we got Got people in there that's getting it right.
Oh, we got a superintendent that's trying to get it right, but there's still a lot of help needs to be done. But the superintendent can only do so much.
Mr. Tadlock, just so I'm clear, once we get the MOU finalized, the new finance director and the staff of that person will be employees of who?
They would be employees of the county.
Also, the discussion in the meeting too is office space.
Yeah,
Well, you're
on
right.
our part, it's pretty much been settled. We don't know if they'll settle.
Well, when you don't have a deed to a building and you don't have a lease to a building, it's pretty well settled.
Hard man.
That's how I look at it. No, I'm just
I know,
done,
I know.
I'm done with the issues and I think it's time for things to get straight.
Well, that issue's gone on what for over 2 years?
Longer than that.
Yeah, probably longer than that. And we're no further down the line than we were when we started. That's another issue for comment on 17th. What else, Jim?
That's all I got.
Got nothing?
No, I think I've said enough.
Mr. Long,
Yeah, I think we can move on.
Mr. Williams? Mr. Fisher?
We are gonna ask for the entire school board to be here if possible, correct?
That's what the email states, and who cannot make it, we're gonna have the meeting anyhow.
Can we have an RSVP?
That has been sent. Email has been sent.
That's all.
All right,
Dang, this one did.
Tadlock, you have any other business we need to take care of today?
You had asked that the board docs diligent
Docs.
item be placed on the agenda.
That's right, I sure did, didn't I? Gentlemen, y'all had a chance to look at that with board doc. Tadlock may want to, he can explain it to everybody. He's usually very good at explaining things. And this is the same thing as happening up at the jail board. Jail board has the same problems. We're losing board docs up there and having to go to this system. So it's not just us.
So currently, the cost of board docs is about $8,000 annually. This is an increase of about $1,989. One thing that this does provide that we currently do not have is that it seems like it would include a pack of 10 committees. So one option would be that we could look at pushing this out to other planning commission, wetlands board, those types of committees, and getting that information out as well. They do have an add-on package for the live stream smart savings package, which is above the $8,000 that we're paying now is $12,589. So it would be an increase of $4,589. We're still going through some of the information, but to my knowledge, and Morgan has been looking at this a little bit too, but it seems like the that would provide the board the option to have the streaming, but it would have markers within that video to jump to the point of the topic that you're looking for automatically. So we're still researching a little bit. Was it by the end of this month that a decision needs to be made to what package we want to proceed forward with? But wanted to get this to you all for you all to be looking at and let you know we need a decision sooner than later, but I don't know that we necessarily need it today if everybody has not gotten a chance to look at it.
Well, we don't have much of a choice as far as board docs is no longer going to be available. We need to have some type of service.
That's correct.
Is the add-on worth it? That's my big question for.
That's what I would like to dig into a little bit further before the board makes any decision, and we'll take a look at it a little bit closer as well. No matter what, we're going to need to do the base package. It's just talking with IT as well to determine as far as the videos and how that could possibly be incorporated into this system.
Did they give a date for shutting down the old one?
It's going to take some time because they're phasing it in with the different clients that they have, and it's based on the contract dates of the client. So
I guess on the video, I guess it's something we kind of need to think about what we want to do on that. And what would that video give us now, Luttrell?
So currently our videos are on YouTube, and this would be, I think, embedded in the board docs system itself. The way that I understand it is that, say we were discussing the budget and you click on the budget, it'll go to that section of the video so that you don't have to search the video if you want to listen to that section.
Still accessible to the public.
Correct.
I guess that would be better in the long run than YouTube. I don't know. That's,
I mean, either way, you would be able to see the video. I guess it's just
you can see the video, but is it easier for us to access through Diligent or through YouTube?
either way, we have links on our webpage to get to the YouTube video. I think where it would make it more accessible for the board and the public is if you have a timestamp on that or a marker within that video, you don't have to search the video as to where that topic is being
That
discussed.
would be very helpful.
But I don't know what else that,
They get rid of the old.
If we went with
Still have
Diligent,
YouTube.
Oh, yeah, it's not gonna-
No, you have different company,
Yeah.
but
if
I'm
we
just
went with
thinking-
Diligent and chose to go with the upgrade, would we discontinue uploading the videos to YouTube at that point, or we continue to do that also?
I think at that point, we would just have everything within Diligent at that point. But we're still having conversations with IT, need to have additional conversations with IT.
Are we having
It-
trouble with people complaining that they can't find what they're looking for going through a YouTube video?
We haven't received any complaints about that, no.
right now, how quickly would the videos be uploaded?
That's something we can find out from Diligent.
All right, now, how quickly are they uploaded now? So we'll have some comparison.
I would have to defer to Carl or Robert,
Oh, you
Not to
got
put-
that video?
not to put Carl on the spot.
All you had rather not answer. Cause you know, if you don't know, that's fine.
Uh,
Say Robert. All right, that's fine. But that would be something we need to know too. How quickly everything's done. And, what else was it doing in there, Luttrell? You say it's, up to 10 different committees that can use this same program. So I think you were saying that you could put, planning commission, and so on, right on to it.
That's reading this and our research, that's what we've determined so far. We are still, like I said, investigating it further. We just wanted to make the board aware that board docs will be changing.
And if that's no additional cost, that would be the benefit right there.
That's part of the base package, right?
Right.
All right.
It-
Well, that
the-
would be a benefit.
The way it's presented here. Right.
Yeah.
Because we had a question, the way that they sent the information to us, it was a base package of $9,989. And then additional package options was $12,589. So the question was, is it $12,000 in addition to the 9,000? And so we reached out to them and got clarification. So their response was no, that it was just the $4,500 increase. So.
Well, you're gonna have it ready for our next board meeting, or is it gonna be longer than that?
If you all have specific questions, we can try and get those answered. We'll be reaching out to, it's Thursday. Yes, sir.
Thursday, I know it doesn't give you much time. I'm just,
We'll,
that would
That
jam
or-
me up probably.
we'll be meeting next week too, so.
Yeah, our next board meeting, our next regular board meeting's on the 12th. So it's at 5:30, so it's only a few days away. All right, any other questions on this, gentleman?
Not on it.
All right. You have anything else you want to discuss today?
Yep. Indeed, the easement for the library. It's been at there since March 26th and not been done yet. And it's holding them up.
Yeah. Ms. Blue sent an email to me today and I forwarded that on to Mr. Gregory as a reminder.
What if Mr. Gregory could have it done by a meeting?
Yeah.
He's had that long enough.
All right, Mr. Brand, you have anything else?
No.
Anyone have anything else? Staff have anything?
No, sir.
All right, nothing else? Can I have a motion to carry over till? Yeah,
Just close it out
that's right, we don't have to
And-
carry over.
unless you all want to meet earlier Thursday.
Do y'all want, yeah, it's a good question. You want to meet earlier Thursday? If you do, we'll carry this over.
Are we gonna have any other information that we don't have now?
Dr. Leslie's supposed to have her information by Thursday on school budget. We still have a budget work session then. For the meeting, or we could always have one after the meeting too.
Yeah, because we meet on at 1 PM, so we should have
Just
enough time,
depends what everybody wants to do.
should have enough time after the meeting.
We don't have-
We're meeting at
We
5:30.
really don't have much public hearing.
5:30, meeting at 5:30, so we can meet early. If I wanna meet early.
Just depends what everybody wants to do.
Can we meet at 3? 3 too early? Well,
I mean, she was going to have updates during the regular board meeting during her portion. So I don't know if there's something you want to meet afterwards, after the public hearing.
Well, we might want to plan on meeting after the public
Yeah,
hearing.
that's what I'm getting at. She gonna have anything that early?
That might be the best thing to just meet after.
Okay, so we're meeting at 5:30.
Yeah, a regular board meeting's 5:30, Mr. Paul.
5:30.
Is that all right, y'all gentlemen?
Sure.
All right. Motion to adjourn?
Can I ask one quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Back to Diligent. They will archive all the videos, so they will be uploadable. They'll be archived.
Are you talking about previous meetings or,
Another good question.
okay,
And what will happen to previous meetings? They'll still be available through YouTube.
so they should be migrating our information in board docs over to the new platform. The videos are not part of board docs right now, so I don't know that they would, and we can follow up with them on this, but I'm not sure that they would take those videos. We would probably still have to keep those out there. But going forward, we can find out how they would, retain that information.
That's it. Thank you.
All right. All right, no other questions. I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank y'all for coming.